Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. Football is here with Tanner. What's going on,
Let's
Tanner?
go. I'm so ready. So pumped for week one. You can see I'm all packed out for this podcast today.
You're ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm super excited. And what we're talking about this episode is we are talking about NFL week one preview. We're going to go over the matchups. We're going to talk about the spreads. We're going to talk about some key injuries. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to be talking about the weather, everything to get you guys hyped up. We're going to go match by match. Tanner, I'm over the moon excited. Football is finally here. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I've been ready. I mean, this has been one of the longest feeling off seasons I've ever experienced. So I'm pumped.
Well, before we get into that, guys, I got to shout out to today's sponsor. I'm telling you guys, DraftKings.com. Download the app, use promo code FFLine. Go over there right now. Week one is finally here. Football is finally here. And DraftKings is the official daily fantasy sports partner of the NFL. Go immerse yourself right now. Create a lineup and draft every single week. And week one, you have a shot at $1 million. Go do that right now, guys. I mean, Tanner, I've got my lineups going. And everybody gets so upset. They're like, hey, Joe, I'm upset. I don't get to draft. Year long is over. I want to draft. Well, I'm like, you could do that. Just
go to DraftKings.
Everybody's got a phone. Do you got a phone, Tanner? Do you have a phone?
Yeah, I got a phone right here. Look.
Okay, there you go. Download the DraftKings app. Use promo code FFLine and go pick a team. Understand, guys, the minimum $5 deposit is required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Go do that right now. DraftKings, all right? Let's do this. Now, Tanner, also a couple more things here. I got a note here before we get started. Manscaped.com as well. Use promo code ShowerLion. Yes. I got to do the plugs. Manscaped.com, promo code ShowerLion. Save yourself 20%. Amazing products, fit and finish. And finally, guys, join the 365 community where I deliver waiver wires, optimal DFS plays, everything you guys need. Fantasy 365 below. And follow Tanner below. He does the breaking news.
Yes, I do.
He does everything on his Instagram. Great artwork, great presentation. And that's a cool thing, guys. We're in the season now. You want to stay in tune. So follow both our Instagrams. They're linked below. And turn on notifications so you're up to the beat.
Turn on the notifications, guys. If anything happens during a game, you're like, okay, so I just saw someone go down the field. You refresh your page. You're going to see a post from Five for Football. That's just how fast I am.
You'll hear it, and you check his story mode, turn on notifications to stories, lives, and also myself for the fantasy spin. You're covered right here. We've got all the infrastructure to go, and subscribe because we go year round, and we've got everything going, every day of the week. Pretty much, I think I have Saturdays off, but schedule we'll put it below as well. All right, let's go here. So week one, we're not going to spend too much time on the first game because a lot of people watching this are probably picking this up on Friday, Saturday. So this game is probably going to be over, but let's briefly talk about it. If the game's already over, guys, and you guys are watching this Friday, Saturday, or Sunday morning, just forward like a minute or two here. But we're talking about the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. And I got to tell you here, man, Buccaneers are 8.5-point favorite. It's week one. Dak Prescott's back. We're ready to go. Brady's back, and that entire offense is back that won the Super Bowl. Yeah, they brought every single player back. I don't think it's ever been done.
First time in history that's ever been done.
This is huge. So that's done. And the thing is, they're an 8.5-point favorite. This is weird because I think this 51.5 points is the over/under. If you guys don't know how spreads work, 8.5 point, they're minus 8.5 means that the Buccaneers have to win by 8.5, to cover the spread. So 51.5 points is the over/under in regards to total points for in the game. I think that's a huge spread considering the Cowboys, even though they're away in this game, Tampa's going to be at home. I think it's going to be closer than people think. What are your thoughts here?
I don't know. I have the Buccaneers winning. I think I haven't taken it all the way.
Over 8.5 though, that's a little much.
I do. I see Brady throwing for at least 3 to 4 touchdowns. Cowboys secondary.
Oh, you're thinking Packers. You got cheese all over your head.
Well, okay. So, you have Mike McCarthy as head coach for the Dallas Cowboys, former Green Bay Packers head coach. And I could tell you right now, the dude, you shouldn't expect anything from him. You got Dak Prescott coming off of injury. Yeah, he got paid a bunch, and they say he's ready to go, fully healthy. But come on, he's had a lingering shoulder issue since before preseason even started. I think they were milking it not milking it, but like sugarcoating it, to say it wasn't as bad. Even though Dak says he's good to go and he expects to play as good as he did last year before he got hurt. I just don't see it, guys. The Cowboys tonight are not going to keep it close.
Yeah, you know what? My concern here with this, and I'm going to wrap this up here, is that Dak comes out prematurely or he plays gingerly or something like that. Something along
Yeah.
the line of like maybe Dak pushed it, maybe he came out too early. That's the excuse. I see them covering the spread. When you look at the talent, I don't see it being that different. Running back, running game has to go to the Cowboys, and I break it down like that. Wide receivers, I got to give the edge to Tampa Bay, although the Cowboys have a good wide receiver
They do.
core.
They have a great trio there.
And then obviously quarterback goes to Brady. So defense, I mean, I would have probably give that to the Buccaneers as well. So
For sure.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm going to say it's going to be closer than people think, and that's my prediction. You think it's going to be a Bucs clear win?
I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think it's going to be a clear win, like a 2-possession game at least.
All right, so let's move on here. We're going to Sunday, and I can't wait till Sunday. I got the red zone up. That's the only way I keep track of these games. Are you home Sundays or are you working Sunday? What are you doing Sunday? Are you watching the games?
I work Sundays, but I will be able to watch as much as I can.
Good.
But I'm always working, man. Always.
It's tough because I actually have now Tanner's a student with me. I don't want to say student, but he's kind of up and coming with the counselor brand here. So he's still got his side hustle job here. But with me, I got to do this full time, obviously. So I sit there and I have the red zone on. I have multiple games going. It's exciting, man. And it's 1 o'clock is always the first week, especially because you're like, I got to see my fantasy players. I got to see a little bit of Najee. I got to see a little bit of this and that. It's so tough to follow, but it's exciting. And then at 4 o'clock, obviously it winds down. Then you got a little more focus because there's less games, right? And your Packers, I think, play at 4. So let's run through the games here. Super excited. We're talking the home Detroit Lions hosting the San Francisco 49ers here. 45 points is the over-under, which is relatively low, Vegas assuming this is going to be a low-scoring game. Jimmy Garoppolo getting a start versus Jared Goff. Apparently, the weather should be fine. Now, San Fran is an 8-point favorite. Now, we understand the Lions don't have much of an offense this year. Theoretically, Jared Goff coming onto a new offense. I mean, they got Amon-Ra St. Brown as rookie. They got Hawkinson. They got Swift. They got Jamal Williams. They got some weapons there in the offense, some serious fantasy relevance there, certain players. But then you got San Fran bringing Jimmy Garoppolo back. Like, how is this going to play out? I mean, are they even set? I don't know.
I mean, obviously, I see, Jimmy Garoppolo starting from, I think, everyone's understanding. But, I just don't see Jimmy Garoppolo providing that spark for the offense. It's going to take, I think, at least by game 2, they might throw in Trey Lance just to, for a drive or two. I think they're going to have to wing him in like that. And then they're going to see how the team reacts to a big play, and then Lance is just eventually going to take over. That's just how it is. But Garoppolo, I still see the 49ers definitely winning. And I think their running game is still dominant, even though it's like they never seem to run out of running backs. But
Mostert is getting the start there. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, he's going to be the starter. He's going to get injured probably by week 5 or 6. So,
kind of like Austin Eckler down. If you heard the news, hamstring that could linger.
Yeah, definitely. We'll
get to that later. But yeah, I mean, this one, I think Detroit could keep it closer. Again, this is a pretty wide spread on two relatively suspect teams. It's not like, the 49ers are solidified like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but they are playing a weak team. And this is where the first week is a feel out week, but you can really take advantage on some spreads here if you do play, on some sites. So again, I would say, it's going to be closer. What do you think?
Well, the 49ers defense is coming back like fully healthy. I think it's not going to be close.
Okay. Yeah. And you're right. And Detroit doesn't have much of an offense. Well,
right.
We'll see, but we'll see if the 49ers offense gels.
The spread, I see negative 7.5. I think that's pretty
close
accurate.
Enough. I'm at 8. The where I'm looking is at 8, but close enough. Same thing. I'm going to say Detroit keeps it closer. You're saying 49ers more than 9 points.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. This is exciting. Jalen Hurts really kind of coming out here. Let's see what he's made out of. He had a couple games last year. Didn't really wow me. I'm not like, wow, apparently he's got the starting job here. Matt Ryan coming back, they're a 3.5-point favorite. So that everybody's assuming, Matt Ryan coming back at home. Super excited about this because we get to see Kyle Pitts. We get to see maybe Devontae Smith on the Eagles, the new rookie, right? Yes. I'm so excited because there's so many new weapons, so many new offenses, the battle of the birds here. But again, I think, Atlanta, they've got a chip on their shoulder. Matt Ryan had a bit of a down year. Calvin Ridley's supposed to be on fire. Kyle Pitts. They got some weapons here. I'm excited about this game. The Battle of Birds. Who you got winning this one?
I have the Falcons winning. I don't trust the Falcons defense though. It could potentially be a high scoring game. It's either going to be like a high scoring game or very low scoring game where it's like underwhelming or very overwhelming. It's not going to be. I just don't think there's a middle ground. It's going to be very low or very high.
The over-under is 48 points. Not as high as the Buccaneers at 51.5, like we said, but 48 points, a relatively high-scoring game. Not as high. Like, again, it could be higher. So they're assuming, I guess, the Eagles aren't going to put up much points. I don't know.
I don't like the Eagles' offense. It's going to be very one-sided, I think. And it's going to be Falcons scoring a lot or not scoring a lot, but they're still going to win.
Yep, at home. I think so too. Matt Ryan coming back party, I should say. All right, Kyle Pitts coming out party. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. Yeah. We got the Tennessee Titans and the Birds, the Cardinals here. Cardinals coming to Tennessee. Tennessee, a 3-point favorite. And this is going to be exciting because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Sure enough, it is 52 points over under Vegas projection. I really like the Tennessee Titans here. I like Derrick Henry. He looks awesome. I watched some of his training videos. He's an absolute animal. They brought in Julio Jones. Now, is Julio healthy for game one? I would think he is, right? I don't see anything flagging him.
I mean, besides everything that kind of rolls over from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, but dude, you should be healthy by now.
Yes.
I don't think he's really had anything happening in the offseason to be concerned about. So he should be totally, not limited in week one, ready to go, ready to roll. Between him and AJ Brown, though, you've got two top, AJ Brown's becoming a top tier wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I don't really know who's going to be wide receiver one in that offense, but with Derrick Henry, you don't even have to worry. So
yeah, it's gonna be a run first team. Now we're gonna be doing a starts and sits episode tomorrow. I'll be on it tomorrow, so make sure you guys do subscribe. We're talking starts and sits. We're gonna break down which matchups are good and not in regards to fantasy. But again, I talk a little bit about fantasy here, but what's gonna be interesting here is, I have no stock in them, but Arizona Cardinals, James Conner, Chase Edmonds. We're gonna see how that load is split. Everybody's so high on Chase Edmonds, but he is.
I'm not high on Chase Edmonds.
Tanner, he's the definition of years to why we're not wowed. And again, the mainstream think that he is the solution. He's not. No. He's just not. He's not. He's not going to do it.
Gut feeling says no, and I usually trust the gut feeling.
Yeah,
I don't feel it.
I'm not excited. So Kyler Murray could be fantasy relevant. It's going to be a good matchup, but I'm going to go Tennessee here to walk away with this one. Moving on here, we've got the Texans at home, who are the underdog, believe it or not. You got the battle of the poop teams here versus Jacksonville at -3.5. But I will tell you right now, when we're talking optimal plays for fantasy, James Robinson's got a good matchup. Trevor Lawrence got a good matchup. And I totally understand why they're favored at 3.5. We've got the youth, you got the excitement.
Yeah,
it is a 45-point over/under, so it's not supposed to be projected as a high-scoring game. But Jacksonville on the road with a new quarterback, a shiny new toy, and then you're against Tyrod Taylor and a suspect offense with a suspect defense. So I don't know. This is going to be interesting.
I like the Texans.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they had a great preseason. Honestly, I think they would go 2-1 or 3-0, something like that.
I don't put too much weight in preseason, but
I don't either. But you got to think everything they've done this offseason, minus the whole Deshaun Watson drama, okay, all they've done is literally veteran. They have made depth at every single position. I think they're ready to go. Tyrod Taylor, he's a game managing quarterback, so he's going to drive the ball downfield. You're going to get in the red zone. You're going to have your red zone opportunities. I think they've got some weapons there. They've got depth at wide receiver. And they have tons of running backs. Philip Lindsay, Mark Ingram. You've got David Johnson. So, I mean, they've got tons of depth. I think they actually have a decent offense. And
that's the thing with Tyrod. He's not a great quarterback that lead you deep into the heart of the playoffs, that type of thing, and bring you back in a game if you're losing. But he has that explosiveness. He has that talent. He is a veteran. He has that experience, and I think it'll be a more exciting game than people think.
I like the Texans. I like what they've done this offseason. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going to say Jags take this game, but I definitely see it's crazy to say an upset, but I see an upset here based on the projection that the Texans could win this. But I'm going to lean towards my guys, Jacksonville. A little biased because I've got some Chark stock in fantasy. I've got some James Robinson stuff. I've got zero stock in the Texans. So
I see the Texans taking this one.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I like it. I like the little back and forth in your opinion there. It makes it more interesting here. All right. This matchup I am looking forward to. We're talking Bills, Steelers on the road, 48.5 points over under. I think it would be a little higher here, but I think the defenses are going to keep something, keep it all neutral. Yeah. But here's the thing. I mean, there's supposed to be some light rain in Buffalo, just so you know. Okay, so I don't know if that's going to play a factor here with the deep ball. It could play a factor, but Buffalo 6.5 point favorite. I mean, I would not sleep on the Steelers here. They've got better running back, I think, in Najee. Better quarterback. I don't want to say better, but more experienced quarterback. The receiving core, I think the receiving core combined could be better, is better than the Bills. Diggs obviously the best receiver out of both sides, but this is going to be a good game, and I'm excited to watch this one. I'm going to probably have this one turned on, and then I'll have like the red zone in the background. And I'll have a couple other games I'll be going back and forth to, but this is a game I like. What is your prediction? I think the Steelers definitely cover the spread and possibly win this game.
I know the Steelers have a great defense. Okay. The Bills don't have a bad defense either. They're aging a little bit. That secondary, Micah Hyde, he's not getting any younger, that's for sure. Right. But I have the Bills. I just see the Bills taking it. I know you're really high on Najee, and I think it might take them a game or two, to like get a good feel and start get rolling. Same goes for Big Ben. He's 39 years old. I think I got the Bills. They're younger. They're way more explosive.
Right. No, there's no doubt about it. I definitely see your point of view. But I would say I would not sleep on the Steelers. This is going to be a good one. Let's move on here. Speaking of good ones, my guy, I bought a bunch of Carson Wentz cards, believe it or not. They're cheap right now. Yeah, I know. I wasted some money possibly because he gets hurt week 1, but I got some Carson Wentz cards. They're super cheap, PSA 10s. And I think that they make a statement. I mean, I think Seattle probably walks away with this one. They are on the road, right? They are going to be in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Now, Colts are a 3-point underdog here. So this is going to be interesting. Carson Wentz coming out party. They don't have any receivers. That's the problem I think I'm going to have here with the Colts. I mean, Pittman could step up, could be a huge fantasy football sleeper.
T.Y.'s out. He'll be out for like half the season. So
it's going to be interesting. And then you've got, I think the Seahawks are solidified. From what I'm hearing, I don't know if you heard the same buzz, but Russell Wilson apparently looking amazing in training. I don't know if you've heard that, but
I don't have any doubts.
He looks amazing. He looks slick and he looks focused this year. So Carson Wentz, make or break year. Russell Wilson,
MVP caliber season.
MVP caliber, but hopefully he comes out strong. I think he will, but hopefully he maintains that, because we have always seen the memes where at the beginning of the season he's like on fire, and then you have the Jordan face meme at the second half of the season.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think of this matchup? Who do you got?
I've got Seattle. Now I do feel like the Colts defense is definitely going to be a pest. And if you actually look at Russell Wilson against the Indianapolis Colts in his career, real quick, I'll tell you. He's a 93.1 QBR, 505 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions in 2 games versus the Colts. So, I mean, not overwhelming, but that's a lot of passing yards in 2 games. And then you got to take into account the weapons that he's got. Metcalf, Lockett, and I think he's got Everett at tight end. I think they're going to try to utilize him a lot. I like the weapons he's got, and it's Russell Wilson. I think he's going to start off strong. Colts defense might be a pest the first half of the game, but they're overwhelming. Offense is going to be overwhelming in that for the Seattle Seahawks.
My prediction, I was never a Carson Wentz fan. I think he tears it up this season. I think he has an MVP type season, but his receivers are the only thing that's suspect, right? He's got the O-line. He's got some good running back pass protection. He's going to have more time to throw the ball. And remember, he was the most sacked, I think. Wasn't even the most sacked quarterback last year, I believe. It's like he got sacked. It was a lot. I think it's like 50 times. I don't know, but he was like the most sacked quarterback. So
one of the most.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, now he's got more time to throw. But who's he throwing it to? Like, is it going to be Pittman and Campbell? Are they going to be enough? Something to watch, a game to watch. 50 points is the over under here. And again, they're the 3-point dog are the Colts.
Not high on Wentz, but like I do think this is definitely he's in such a better situation here with the Colts.
Yes.
I think he could. I'm not expecting an awful season, but I'm not expecting his best season.
Well, we will see. All right, the next one, another interesting one because I want to see the young Zach Wilson. They are a 4.5-point underdog to the Carolina Panthers. Now, again, very interesting matchup here. We're going to see some Elijah Moore. We're going to see some Corey Davis. We're going to see some Zach Wilson. How excited are you about this?
Take into account that you've got Sam Darnold going against his former team week 1. So what's the relationship like now? Are they good? Or is he kind of pissed off? I mean, you drafted his replacement, and he's gone, he's out. So
he's playing with a chip, and he's got some weapons. I wouldn't sleep on Robbie Anderson. Moore could be good as well. They've got some weapons, man.
Christian McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, and the Jets are suspect with. I mean, who are they starting? I mean, like I hope Carter gets some work. I mean, who they got? Coleman. Who's the other guys? It's like I don't even care. I'm talking about the Jets. I think it's going to be hopefully Carter gets some reps and runs with it, but they obviously don't have the running game that the Panthers do. So it's up to Zach Wilson and his legs and his talent to see what he is capable of, and he's doing it on the road as a rookie coming in.
It's all going to be Zach Wilson. This game literally relies on him. He has the most. I'm not going to say like stress, but like. I mean, he's in a position where it's like you're basically the commando. Like you can't be just a game managing quarterback in this. You've got to be the leader. You've got to make big plays down the field if they want a chance at winning this game.
45 points over under, very low. Again, not a game I'm over the moon excited about, but a game that I will probably tune into.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm just excited to see how well a rookie does. I love watching rookie quarterbacks play. But I am excited. I think Sam Darnold's going to have a decent year. And from what I've read and heard, him and tight end Dan Arnold have a great connection. And Dan Arnold is expected to have much more work this year than he has his entire career.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So I really like what the Panthers have on offense.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on here to the Chargers and the I don't even call them that anymore. The Washington football team. This is a close game. I don't know, man. Why is this so close? Are they assuming Ryan Fitzmagic comes out and have an amazing game at home? Like the Chargers, I know they didn't have the best record last year, but you're talking Herbert versus Fitzmagic here, and they're a 1-point dog. I'm taking the Chargers to win this game on the road.
I'm taking the Chargers as well, but do not underestimate that Washington defense. That's the only thing that's giving them that under right now.
You're right. And that's why, for a DFS standpoint, when you're talking daily, go back and listen to the Daily Fantasy Show. I just did for this week. Herbert does have a tough matchup. It's actually, I think, the 4th hardest versus position. So I definitely see you on the defense for Washington. Again, it's still going to be an interesting game. It's really going to test Herbert. If Herbert comes out slinging and does well in this game, and he does well against Washington, look out.
Well, even if he comes out slinging and it's not working, you can dump passes to Eckler if he's healthy and playing.
Is he even we don't even know if he's playing at the time of this recording. I mean,
that's true. He hasn't been ruled out, but he hasn't. They haven't said he's completely ready to go for week 1 either. So keep your eyes on Eckler as well.
But those hamstrings injuries linger. Depending if it's a tear, how bad, it could be 2 to 4 weeks. If he comes back early, he's only going to prolong the inevitable.
Gosh, man, I drafted, like I said, I've told you before, I drafted Eckler last year. Busted for me. So I stayed away from him this year. Good. I don't have him in any league.
The Chiefs all have him. They all suggested him top 6 running back on the board. So hopefully,
if he's healthy, maybe.
If he's healthy, but it's just that's the problem, right? I factor all that in. He's not built to be a workhorse running back, and I'm not sold that he is.
And I'm starting to agree with you on that because, as a guy who had him last year, I was pissed. I was done with him. I wanted to trade him. Nobody would take him. So.
All right, the next matchup here, Bengals at home versus the Vikings. Vikings 3.5-point favorite. Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins. Excited to see Joe Burrow. We're going to see here. This is very interesting because we're going to see who he's going to gravitate to. Is it more of a Jamar Chase show? Is Jamar Chase going to be able to hang on to the ball as he did not do in preseason?
See what he said this morning?
Jamar?
Jamar Chase.
What did he say?
He has excuses for dropping the balls in the preseason.
What is it?
He's saying that the white stripes on the college footballs aren't on the NFL balls, so it looks different when it's coming out of a quarterback's
Come
hand.
on.
All you got to focus on now is the laces. The ball is bigger. He's literally saying these things.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not even exaggerating. He's saying all these different things about how the ball is different, and that's what he's blaming his drops on.
That's BS. You shouldn't have an excuse. But the thing is, didn't he have some sort of excuse or some sort of issue off field with his baby mama or wife or something?
I'm not entirely sure on that. I know he did, but like I don't think that's going to play a factor. But I mean, at a mental standpoint, probably. I think it's going to throw him off. I don't think he's what he was at LSU, just from what we've seen in the preseason and what I've read this morning. Yeah, the ball is different because it's bigger. Chase says.
That's ridiculous.
Does it have the white stripes on the side? It's hard to see the whole ball because the ball is brown and you have the 6 strings that are white. But for the most part, I just have to get used to it and find out what I'm comfortable with catching.
That's the most BS excuse I've ever heard.
And that sounds good. That's not.
Just say, hey man, I dropped the ball. My hands, I got the first week jitters out, and I'm good to go. If you are good to go.
I think he's going to develop. I mean, he's going to be a good wide receiver. I don't have doubts about it, but like, I still like the rest of the weapons they have there. They got T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I don't think Thaddeus Moss is on the active roster. I believe he's on the practice squad. So I don't really know who they have at tight end right now.
Your guy, Mixon. He's got to make it. This is a make or break year for Mixon.
Yeah.
But anyway, to recap this, Vikings 3.5-point favorite. We're going to see some Jefferson. We're going to see some Thielen. We're going to see some Dalvin Cook. I'm excited about this matchup. 47.5 points is the over under. Who do you got for this one? I think Vikings walk away with this one, man. It's
Vikings walk away with it. They have a better defense than they did last year. And the Bengals still have some kinks to work out.
Yeah, they do. It's going to be an interesting game. I think the Bengals need a few games to figure stuff out for sure.
Yep.
All right, next one here. This is exciting. Your team is going to be on the road, and they're the favorite against the Saints. And I definitely see them winning this game, although Aaron Rodgers has messed up on the road many a times. But again, new offense. I mean, Jameis Winston, he could be wild child throwing away picks, right? We don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch the offense. It's going to be interesting to see how many times Taysom Hill comes on the field and hoards away fantasy points from guys like Kamara.
So excited about this game, man. And I can say I'm excited to watch Winston because I believe he's going to come out slinging that ball downfield. And I want the Packers secondary to be prepared. I want them tested. They're
rough. They looked rough, man. In preseason,
they always look rough. I can't stand the Packers defense.
Swiss cheese, man. Swiss cheese is their defense.
They either have a strong run defense or a really good secondary, but they could never have both. They never have pass rush. I mean, it's always 2 out of 3 things that kill them.
It's rough.
But I really want their secondary to be tested. I have faith in Alexander, but Eric Stokes, the rookie, he's the fastest cornerback on the team, but I think he's going to have some flaws. But I'm excited to watch a Packers offense. I really do.
Yeah, I'm excited about this matchup as well.
I had a bold take.
I want to see how the Saints gel. It's a 49.5 point over under, which is high, assuming it's going to be a slinging fest. But again, Winston, I got to see how this offense gels. If Taysom comes in near the goal line, steals away from Kamara, and obviously see how much Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon usage there's going to be as well, and who's stepping up as the wide receiver 2 on the Packers. Is it going to be Lazard? Is it going to be MVS? How that kind of plays out. It's going to be interesting. And Callaway, obviously, for the Saints, wide receiver.
He stepped up big, man. He's got he made a lot of hype for himself, for sure.
Players to watch. We should add that to next week's show. Players to watch each show. Key players. We're kind of talking about it now, but I want to highlight them a little bit more.
Okay.
All right. Giants at home. Now, a lot of questions about this one. Giants, Broncos 3-point favorite on the road, 42 points over under. Giants being the dog here, which is weird because I don't think Bridgewater is amazing. But again, they do have the offensive weapons. Javonte Williams is going to be interesting to see the split there with him and Melvin Gordon. And then you got Saquon, who I think is going to be limited in reps. I talked to an insider, super fan from the Giants, and he told me simply, hey, we're going to limit Saquon Barkley was what he feels because it is a short week and they are playing, I think, Washington football team on the 16th, which is the Thursday after. So
Division matchup for him.
yeah. So I think Saquon, I think they're going to feel him out. I think he gets 10 reps, 10, 15. They run with him, maybe a goal line carry or two, and then they run him wild primetime Thursday night football. That's my prediction. What are your thoughts?
I definitely see him being limited. They say he's like, trending towards being ready to go week 1, but that doesn't mean he's going to be a full, every down back. I think they're going to wing, kind of ease him into it. Give him a decent workload, but he's going to be limited. I definitely have the Broncos taking this game.
Yeah.
Like you said, Bridgewater's not like an overwhelming QB,
Right.
but he can move the ball downfield pretty well. And, they got I think they're going to have some wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, kind of step up this year, make a difference. I think Fant is going to have a bigger role. So I have the Broncos for sure.
Giants, I definitely see that. I can agree with you that they win this game, but Giants, I mean, this is a break or break year for Daniel Jones and Saquon. So we're going to have
make or break for Daniel Jones. I would have been done a year, 2 years ago, honestly, but this is no excuses after this. This is it.
All right. Speaking of make or break, 54.5 over under here. Is this a 6-point favorite are the Chiefs over the Browns? Chiefs at home hosting the Cleveland Browns, Baker Mayfield, Pat Mahomes, showdown, make or break season for guys like Odell Beckham Jr. We're going to have to see how the Chiefs function and operate. Apparently, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was banged up a little bit, should be good to go. I'm excited about this matchup because I want to see some more Pat Mahomes. Is Pat Mahomes going to come out slinging and looking like the Pat Mahomes of a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think he's I don't see Patrick Mahomes slowing down, not even one bit. But I do like the Browns defense. I like what they have on defense. I see them actually keeping it a bit closer than people think, but I still have the Chiefs definitely taking this.
Easily. And I think 6 points is not, I think they could score well over 6 points and win this by at least a touchdown easily. Yeah. All right. Next one here, divisional game. We got the Patriots, 3.5-point favorite at home, 43.5 points is the over under. And the Dolphins 3.5-point underdog. Again, this is going to be a very interesting matchup as we are scoping out and scouting out.
I'm excited. I'm actually ready to watch this one.
Quarterback battle. And it's a 4:30 game, so you have some more time to watch it. I'll be switching back and forth between this one, and I'll be checking out the Broncos because I got some Javonte Williams stock. I know you'll be on the Packers game, but this is we're gonna find out what Mac Jones is made of, and Tua for that matter. So this is a very interesting game. We're gonna be watching both offense and defense. You're gonna watch everything here. I'm pumped.
And they were on the same team in Alabama. They're gonna have that kind of like rivalry, probably more of like a friendly rivalry, I think. But I'm excited to watch. I'm very excited to watch Mac Jones. I think he's actually gonna be decent. It might take him a while, just because he's got his rookie flaws. But I think it's be more than 3 points for the Patriots. I have them winning this by at least one possession, a touchdown.
Yeah, I think the Patriots just based on coaching, skill, but who knows? I mean, Tua could come out slinging, and it's just going to be an amazing – I don't know, man. This is going to be an interesting game. I think it'll be tighter than people think, and I think it'll be low scoring. But we're
low scoring, for sure. But I don't know how tight it's going to be.
And I'm excited about – let's go to 8 o'clock game, prime time. What I love about this one so much is because I got some Montgomery stock, but not so much that – is that I want to see who starts with Sony Michel and Henderson. I think Henderson. I'm
excited,
but Sony gets going. But another thing is, I want to see Dalton crumble. I want Nagy to get booed. I want Nagy to get booed. That's the whole point of me watching this.
Man.
They are on the road, so they might not get the boos that you want because they're not Bears fans. But why not start Fields? Why not show the confidence? Why are you putting in a guy who's at the tail end of his career, who has not done anything in the NFL? When you got the upside of Fields, you start Fields. But I don't like this decision here. It's going to be very interesting. And Stafford in a new uniform. So much excitement, so much to watch. And the nice thing about this, Tanner, is that it's prime time. So we get to focus in.
Yep. I'm really high on Stafford in the Rams offense. I think Stafford's been a stud his entire career. But now he's got offensive line. Now he's got freaking weapons, a better head coach. He actually has a good head coach. He's never really had a good head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, never had a great defense like this. I think Stafford – I really like him here. It's prime time. He's going to have the energy. I'm excited to watch Sony Michel for sure. I think he's going to be a stud if he can stay healthy and actually gets the reps that he deserves.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears, their defense has not been what it was. They're going to kind of crumble fall apart. Andy Dalton, he's just going to throw some interceptions against this defense. Not going to look good for the offensive side for the Chicago Bears. They're going to suck.
Yeah,
Matt
man.
Nagy, not high on Nagy at all. I want him he out. I don't want a good Bears team, but come on. At the same time, like a team deserves a good head coach, and Matt Nagy does not deserve to be a head coach.
7.5-point favorite. I definitely see the Rams taking that. Again, Dalton is a big mistake. I think it's a big mistake.
The biggest mistake you can make that game. I think if you want Justin Fields to like really develop, you throw him out there against the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to lose the game anyways. So, I mean, honestly, throw Fields out there, and he's going to learn from some big mistakes. He's going to do better than Dalton will.
Yeah. Again, I'm thinking the Rams are going to take this. Stafford makes a statement. Dalton crumbles, and people are going to be screaming at Nagy to start Fields. I hate how Nagy just, how
idiotic he is.
Takes forever, man, just to make a decision. Just go and like make the right decision. Even Montgomery, man, like he finally realized he's a workhorse like 2 years in. Like, come on, man. Like he was making really good plays season 1 when he started playing his rookie year, and they'd always bring in Tariq Cohen after an amazing run. He'd run for like 12 yards, strong run, runs off the field. Keep him on the field.
Yeah.
It was very frustrating, man. Very, very hard to watch.
Yeah, very hard to watch.
So next one, he should get fired, Nagy. All right, next one here, we got the Monday Nighter. I'm not over the top excited about this one, but Raiders at home, 4.5-point underdog to the Ravens coming there.
Low scoring game.
Yeah, we're going to see some Le'Veon Bell maybe. Is he on the team now? Le'Veon Bell? He's
still in the practice squad. I don't see him being active for week 1. If he is active, like on the 53-man roster, it's not going to be for very many snaps. I see him being more utilized towards week 2 and 3 for sure.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I think he's on the practice squad.
Well, he's got to learn the offense and the playbook.
Absolutely.
Right?
You've got to.
He's not the smartest guy on the planet, so he's gonna need some time. Too many punches in the head with him blocking those boxing videos. So
yeah,
I actually I'm not a fan of Gus, but I think if you start Gus, he's a smarter guy. I would, he knows the offense a bit more. We know, everyone's banged up on that team now. So
Gus has been there a while.
And Derek, speaking of not smartest guys, I mean, Derek Carr, man, I would say the coaching and the owners aren't very smart here, because Derek Carr, talk about years to why not wow. Like, this is another make or break year for Derek Carr. Like, come on, man.
Well, you say make or break, but the dude's over 30 years old. I mean, he's
done nothing. He's taking them nowhere. I mean, it's always an excuse. They don't have receivers.
He is 30 years old, So, I mean, it's time for Derek Carr. Like,
this is it. This is it.
No more
I think their organization is stupid for keeping this guy as long as they did. I mean, they need a good, franchise quarterback. He's not it.
I see him kind of like the Lions. You don't have the best coaches. You don't have the best front office. You don't have the best defense. It's just year after year of average football. That's all you're ever going to get out of this team until something else is really done there. And to change your scenery, to change your potential, you got to change your quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. So listen, in regards to this one, I'm telling you, it's 4.5-point dog are the Raiders. They could probably take this game, but they really don't have much receivers. Maybe Jacobs gets integrated, has a good running game. I don't know, man. This is a weird game. Ravens, Lamar Jackson show. That's the only thing, the reason why.
It's really the only thing Ravens ever have is Lamar Jackson.
That's it.
He's just going to be running the ball, scrambling.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple plays downfield.
It's football. It's Monday night. Keep us excited. So that's our 8:15 on Monday. So there you have it, Tanner. There is our preview show, guys. Leave your comments below. Who do you think is going to win these matchups? Love to hear it. Follow Tanner on social below. I'm super excited, man. Football is finally here, and I would love to do these Thursday shows with you, man. It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. 17-game season, so an extra week of football. I'm freaking pumped.
I'm excited, man. I'm super pumped. So, guys, subscribe, thumbs up, preview show. NFL's here.
Let's go.
Let's go, guys. Follow, subscribe. We're out.